Hello guys and welcome to the Gatorade duels that are taking play here today. As man, we are excited, ready to go here. Both the duels are taking place, 10 lappers that'll take play. Warren back with us in the booth yet again. And boy, I'll tell you what, we had a great, incredible Bud Light showdown and Bud Light and Budweiser shootout that took play. But I gotta ask you, man, now we're in the daytime conditions. How much do you think is gonna change?
Well, a lot's going to change. You're going to get looser. You know, your car is not going to drive the same as it did in the shootout and showdown. It's going to be a lot tougher to keep it 3 wide. When they're going 3 wide and maybe 4 wide, like it did last night.
That is very true. Let's go through our starting lineup, and we're about to get the command shortly too. Sicoli is on the unofficial pole. Bryant second. Ross third. Fourth, Roush. Fifth, Lamas. Sixth, Cat Batson. As there's the command. 7th, Daniel Olson. 8th, Johnny Gardner. 9th, Seth Copeland in the top 10. Alex Ferranti. A lot of eyes are going to be on this one right here. Ron Bishop, he technically has the pole for the 500. And problems for Cat Batson. Her car is not going, and she has blown the motor. I just heard also some damage. It may have been Phil Parker. Oh, and I don't know what Phil's doing, but I think he's trying to get around and... Well, a couple rookies having some issues, and Cat Batson already going to have to go to a backup car for the Daytona 500. Which brings to the next point, all ready to be said. Now, I mentioned about Ron Bishop. If he wrecks out of the race, anything happens to him, all he has to do is survive. If he doesn't, he has to go to a backup car and will lose out on his pole. And other than that, will be interesting to keep an eye on. Pace car going on down to pit road. Joshua Sicoli going to lead them down a 10-lapper event that's going to take play for duel number 1. Green flag is out. We are underway. So, Warren, we already know one car. It's me going up to a backup car for the Daytona 500 of Cat Batson. Now the question is, how will everyone else spare?
I say we're going to have a huge wreck. Just the way this week's been rolling with these cars, it's just going to get tough. Man.
Hopefully so, and I don't know how Phil Parker's going to be. Remember, he got a little bit of damage suffered from Cat Batson because he tried to get around her, and you can kind of see him kind of lingering in the very rear of that field. And oh, problems for Nathan Hudson! I'd see the 11 car come down pit road.
B is the car you heard crunching.
Maybe, I don't know.
Phillips off the pace.
Yeah, a little bit, not a whole lot. He's still kind of going the same speed as everyone else in the pack. He kind of just didn't get going as right. But I'll tell you what, though, Ron Bishop in that 88 car, if you've noticed, both sessions that we have had, the testing session that we have had, and our Daytona 500 pole day qualifying, that car had been ready. That car has been ready to go, and they were ready for that speed. And Dodge, like you even mentioned in the testing session, they have been ready for these super speedways. They have a good super speedway package.
Yeah, like I said in the testing session, you know, we said Keith Motorsports kind of helped out with that for that long run with Dodge and all the wins we had there at the super speedway. So it's not surprising at all that they're pretty good here.
And you can see it well. And looking at the Dodgers here, other than Bishop Family Racing, you got Sin City Racing with Sky Commons in the 17 in this one as well. The other Dodgers are going to be in the second session. But you notice Daniel Olson, he had a really good car. Now he's lost the lead to Kyle Matthews in car number 09. He's the only representation of S3 Motorsports. Oh, and Ross, that's a very risky move right there. Decides to think better and tucks back in line right there.
Everyone's getting a little antsy. You know, we're early in this one. Everyone just needs to chill out and ride it through. But as you can see right now, that's not happening in the third way of the pack here.
And keep in mind, too, it's only a 10-lapper, so this is only just see who's going to be up in that third position for the first duel, so a lot can be at stake here. Now, also mentioned, too, is that obviously this is a non-points paying race. This is just for bragging rights to get ready for the Daytona 500, which, of course, that is going to be such a big deal for these drivers.
Well, we're 3 wide by 3 by 3, so really answering it up here.
And you notice Phil Parker, too. He's still kind of very lingering, still trying to get in that pack, but it's just not looking good for that 15 car at all. And Hudson back out on the track, you see right there, so that's a good sign for Hudson. However, the good news is for him, he won't be starting in the rear of the field because of what happened to Cat Batson. Anderson, though, out in front. And if you notice, too, out of all the manufacturers that you see around here, I mean, you got all 4 manufacturers roaming around through here. You got a lot of Chevy representations that are around here, especially the single car teams. You know, you got the single car team of Clint 8813 Motorsports, got Ferranti Racing in the 84. You got the Chevrolet that's out there of, I could find where it is. You got the Chevrolet of Second Keith out there. You got the Chevrolet of Lamas in the 48 also there as well. So interesting to see right there, and even a Chevrolet for Twin X Racing as well.
Proven.
Oh, and there goes Spillman. Around goes to 24. Ross into the wall, and the caution will be out. Brett Pritchard also involved, but Spillman took the worst end of it. And what a lucky break that may be for Nathan Hudson, I think, though, because we're on lap 6. We may get a 1-lap shootout. I'm not too sure.
So who was leading?
That'd be RJ Bishop. Wow, look at that. And remember, too, because Ron Bishop, he was the fastest in the session for the 500 pole day qualifying. Oh, look how Brett Pritchard just went to Cody Lamas. Anderson and Matthews have plowed. Guys are not breaking all of a sudden. And Seth Cole realizing that, I don't blame you. May as well coast and slow down. Spillman wisely going to go to the inside line and try not to plow. And lucky break for Nathan Hudson right there. Probably a caution he needed, but maybe a little too late. However, yeah, he's 2 laps down, so. Clint Spillman, car number 24, and Brett Pritchard, car number 49. They've got the worst end of it. Anderson, you can see a little buckle in the hood right there. Looks like Spillman. I don't see anyone coming down pit road. I'm actually amazed. So we may as well try to do this somewhat in one take. Let's actually look at Clint Spillman in car number 24 and kind of look at what happened to the John Deere Chevrolet. So they weren't even 4 wide, too, if you look at it. Actually, let's speed up a little bit and try to get to the front straight. This was kind of like the shootout, too, where they wrecked just as they were coming to the line. Well, looks like Spillman tried to block Brett Pritchard, and it didn't work out to the favor of the John Deere Chevrolet, and that looks like a battle for the 3rd position. I just didn't even see the 49 right there. There's Commons. Anderson, Pritchard's teammate. There's Ross. Nowhere to go. Just gets clipped in the corner and just bounces off the wall right there. Wow, slides right in front of Joshua Sicoli right there. I don't know how Sicoli didn't get clipped right there. There's Daniel Olson, the 12, getting held up in the process. Kyle Matthews getting a little bit involved right there. Wow. Let's see if we can take another look at that from the angle right there and just see. Probably look at the helicopter view because that'll probably be our best bet here. Keep an eye on that 24 you've seen right there. Yeah, you can see it right there from the helicopter angle. He just literally pushed the 49 right to the wall and right where that corner panel is. And that's been something in these cars you really don't want to do. And that's prime example A right there. And it looks like that was Anderson that got into Ember Ross right there. So that is a look at what happened. Also, Michael Walton held up in the process, and he did not get involved in the accident. That's a good sign right there. But we're under caution for the first time today here as we are going to do this all in one take there. So as you can see, though, we are on lap 7 to 10, getting ready to be on lap 8. The problem is, though, if you keep in mind, if we go into lap 9 with the pace car lights still on, we will not be going back to green. And whoever's the leader of the race, which would be RJ Bishop, he will be starting 3rd in the Daytona 500. And the pace car lights are off. So you know what that means. It's a 1-lap shootout, and anything can and will happen.
Good boy.
So RJ Bishop, I guarantee for Bishop Family Racing, if they could start in you know, literally the inside line, the first 2 rows, that would be such a big blessing right there. Now, remember, too, if Ron Bishop were ever to win this, it'd be second of the Gatorade Duel, and that can also be applied for Duel 2 with Quint and more, but we'll see what will happen. Pace car diving on down pit road. No one out of the race. Top 10 rundown. You can see on your ticker right there. Green flag and the white flag displayed for RJ Bishop.
And Alex Drayton got a good restart there in 3rd place. See if he shoots down low.
Drayton trying to look underneath, same with Alex Ferranti. But look at Scott Roush flying on by in that 18. Ferranti thought about making a move for the lead and literally got the door shut on him right there.
Not over yet.
No, it ain't. Look at Roush, though. He's flying up there in that Miami Dolphins Toyota. Ferranti looks like he won the peak. Here comes Ferranti to the inside. And that's literally shades of just last year with RJ Bishop. He literally let that happen on a 1-lap shootout in the 500 of Michael Walton. Now here it is to Alex Ferranti. Coming off the final turn, though. Oh, there goes Scott Roush and Johnny Gardner. Coming the line, though. Side by side. Ferranti, I think, is going to get it. He will. Oh, I don't know who got it. Bishop got it.
No.
Get out of here.
Oh, my God.
Within the last second. And Johnny, I don't know what happened to him. Oh, he's coming down pit road. He had that, I think he had that glitch. He came away 11th after that. Wow, what a finish. For a minute, I thought Bishop was gonzo right there, but somehow, some way, he held on. We'll take a look at what happened to Johnny Gardner in a bit. Let's just see on that. Oh, wow, that is close. That is close. Let's see spectator angle. This probably will be our best angle right here. Oh, yeah. Look at that right there. Holy cow. Wow, that looks so insanely close. And you can actually see from TV1, as they're coming to the line right there, he barely got it.
The thing is, in the old package, in the old mod, that finish would not have been possible.
No. That would have never been possible. There's no way.
Inside line would have gotten the run too early and it would have been over.
Yeah. You can see kind of right here, if you look on Alex Ferranti's far chase cam angle right here, look at how just barely that Dodge is going to edge out right there on the Chevy Camaro right there. But what an unbelievable job by RJ Bishop to do that right there. He barely got it. We'll take a look at that margin, too, in a bit. Let's see what happened with Johnny Gardner and with Scott Roush. Now, you see Gardner, he luckily did cross the line, but unofficially he'll score 11th. Oh, yeah, you can see why. He hit that pit road commitment area. And it may have involved a couple rookies with Alex Drayton being the culprit right there. So you're going to see right there coming off of turn number 4. Keep an eye on the Home Depot Ford of Alex Drayton and the 18 Miami Dolphins Toyota of Scott Roush right there. Yeah, he got him right there.
Just like in the showdown and shootout, I said, you know, we haven't seen the quarter panel be a big problem here.
No.
And then we've seen the quarter panel become just a huge problem.
Yeah, and then look at Johnny Gardner. You can see how way low he is. Now, I thought with Gardner's speed, I thought he was going to get a lot of momentum and probably get maybe a spot or two. But you can see right here, he is going to go right here past the pit road commitment. Now, this is a common thing a lot with NR, how it works. Because of that, right there, you're seeing the car's going to slide like that, and it's going to keep going down the course, and it's going to slow down. Now, if Johnny did not hit that pit road commitment, he probably could have gotten lucky and probably could have gained some spots. But you can see his speed's decreasing right there by the second. There's Cody Lamas and Ember Ross beating them out. And then you're going to see his pit stall, which is going to be coming up very shortly. The car's going to veer to the left and is going to go over to his stall just like magic right there. That's an NR thing right there. And it's common, especially with Daytona, that will happen like that. So, that is a look at what happened with Johnny Gardner. Now, here comes the moment of truth. What was the margin? I'm going to guess 5 1,000ths. And it is 4 1,000ths. Wow, 1 1,000th off right there. But there is a look at your finishing results right there. So a Bishop Family Racing inside line on the first 2 rows, that's got to be one of the most monumental moments for Bishop Family Racing, let alone in NRSL history right there. That's awesome. So RJ Bishop, he'll start 3rd. Ron Bishop, he'll start on the pole for the Daytona 500. So then looking at the rest, Ferranti 2nd, Drayton 3rd, and Alex Show literally 5th and 7th. Then you got JT Bryant, Scott Roush, mentioned about Ron Bishop, Sky Commons, Joshua Sicoli, Ember Ross, Cody Lamas, Johnny Gardner, Kate Anderson, Seth Cole, Michael Walden, Daniel Olson, Kyle Matthews, Phil Parker, Clint Spillman, Brett Pritchard, and Nathan Hudson. And then you also got in 21st, Kat Batson. She'll be starting in the rear of the field. So that is a tough break for Kat Batson right there. Definitely not what she needed. So there is a look at what happened with duel number 1 taking play here. So we're going to make the duels in one video. So, of course, if you are seeing this in premiere mode on YouTube and you're seeing yourself on duel 1, there is a look at what happened. If you're in duel 2, don't worry. It'll be coming in just a bit. So don't go away. Stay tuned for duel number 2. And we are back for duel number 2. And I'll tell you what, after the exciting duel 1 that we had, the sun has come out now, a little more now than it was before. I'll tell you what, duel 1 definitely was entertaining for sure. That definitely did not disappoint.
It was pretty good. A lot of passing, a lot of good battles, and a couple close calls, I should say. You know, the Spillman wreck could have been a lot worse, and that last possible wreck could have been so much worse. So we always know the second duel is always the one that has the most wrecks. So yeah. I hope hopefully we can get through this pretty good.
Jeffrey Finguy on the unofficial poll for this one. You got Trent Dunham, Quentin Moore. He is starting P2. If he gets wrecked out, he will go to a backup car in the rear of the field and lose out in the spot. Zach Flickinger, Zach Rogers, Charles Sanford, John Art, Zachary Fitzwater, Joshua Osborne, Keith Batson, Eric Burton, Connor Meyer, Kev Shear.
Drivers, start your engines.
As there's the command, Dylan Potey, Jessica Shelton, Anthony McCurry, Kyle Keith, Audrey Baranowskis, James Qualls, Levi McIntyre, and Benjamin Miles. Well, the good news, no one blows up in this one. That is a good sign right there. So now the moment of truth happens here. Will this 10-lap race be different than the other one? We shall see. You see also a mix of more different teams being on here as well. Second Keith, obviously, they got 3 of their drivers. Meyer Racing's got only 1. Gardner Racing's got 1. And you got some single car teams here too, and you know, 1 of each team there. So that's a good sign right there. It's a good blend of mix. So we'll see what'll happen here in duel number 2. Pace car about ready to dive down pit road right now. And here we go. Duel number 2 is about ready to commence. Green flag, we are underway for duel 2.
Outside, you got a pretty even start. The outside, it's going to stop Quentin from moving up.
But Quentin's already wanting to look right there and going to the inside for the lead.
Oh, my Lord.
3 wide for the lead and 3 wide for, that is P number 6, it looks like, with John Art, Zachary Fitzwater, and Charles Sanford. Wow, Zach Flickinger, a little risky move right there. But it looks like he's going to be A-okay.
It's lap 1.
I know, it's crazy. Now, and another thing, too, to keep in mind, Warren, you got to remember, Zach Flickinger, he's going to be the highlight this season, just like last season with Ian Dutta and Angel Navarro, and then the season before, Michael Norman and others. That pressure has got to be real for Zach Flickinger if he wants to perform well on his final Daytona 500.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one for him. He's gonna have to really work his way through this pack if he's gonna have any kind of nice, easy 500 to go through. But heck, that's not what he wants.
At the same time, too, you never know, because your final 500, you always want to do well and try to represent. You know, we've seen also, too, like literally every driver just about, whenever they do they like make their announcement saying that this is their final season, it comes to the Daytona 500. Unfortunately, nothing goes right for them. It's like a jinx. Hopefully Zach Flickinger does things a little different. The keyword, hopefully. If you remember what happened last season, Ian Dutta got involved in a wreck, and Angel Navarro, I believe, got involved in a wreck too. Wow, Charles Sanford nearly turned Zach Flickinger right there. That was a little close. Kyle Keith up in the front right here. James Qualls now looking underneath. Johanna Atwood Motorsports is probably going to be a team to keep an eye on. Remember, both their cars made the chase last season. And obviously, Osborne is definitely going to be more to keep an eye on because he does have the quote-unquote possible sophomore slump that could happen. The well-known sophomore season that everyone likes to keep an eye on certain drivers. You know, ironic enough, the drivers heading in their sophomore season at times can go one of two ways. It can go a miraculous moment happens and they are bound for a championship, or it can come into a disastrous slump. But the season after, they could be just fine. So the question for Osborne in that 27 out there, can he do it? That's going to be one thing to keep an eye on. Well, you got to remember, he picked up 3 wins last season in a span of 10 races, which that alone is unbelievable. But we shall see as Finguy already to the rear of the field on lap number 4. Remember, he was the pole sitter for this race. The unofficial pole sitter, I should say. And Eric Burton going to sneak underneath 3 wide in that Miami Heat Toyota there.
It is getting really, really, really bunched up.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, if that's what it's going to be like for the 500, boy, we're going to be in for a show right there. Charles Sanford tried to lead that lap, not so fast. Eric Burton barely going to lead, and now Zach Flickinger moves the 0-3 to the middle line because here comes the T-Mobile Chevrolet.
Keep that in mind, though, when we come down to this finish, you know that Eric Burton led that lap. So it is possible. Keep that a little bit of a gap, so just keep that in mind when you're looking at the end of this race, guys.
He does, yeah, and, you know, we've seen that when we had the one-lap shootout for Duel 1, you know, we seen that the car in the inside line, he thought he had the race won, and then all of a sudden, here comes RJ Bishop on the high line, just getting enough effort, and he barely not only led the lap, but won that duel to be starting in the 3rd spot. And the other thing I do want to ask, too, do you think this race is going to be very important for the drivers that want to start in that 4th position? Or do you think they just want to figure out, you know what, I think I know my strategy, I want to start in the middle of the pack or even the rear just in case?
I think the guys that want to start in that 4th position, you'll see them get that inside line, but the guys who want to start in the back or the middle, you're going to see them like where Benjamin Miles is. He hasn't moved since the first lap of this race. I'm pretty sure he's content to stay where he is just to start in the middle. And
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either, too. And you also notice, too, Quentin Moore, he kind of made a little risky move, and keep in mind, he's right now starting in that 2nd position, and he wants to avoid as much danger as possible. And there goes Fitzwater in the 59. Dylan Pote goes around. I think the pit road glitch may happen with Pote. Oh, no, he goes into James Qualls. And I think the caution, the caution's out. And the caution is out. Pote goes down pit road, and a caution will be out.
Holy moly.
Not like what happened to Johnny Gardner in the first duel, and unfortunately, James Qualls, innocent bystander. And I think because of this is going to determine right here. And look at Quentin Moore. He doesn't even care. He wants to move on up. And look at McCurry, our Bud Shootout winner.
This is a little interesting because the shootout that happened way, way after this.
Wow. And McCurry's going to lead it. McCurry may actually be starting in the 4th position for the Daytona 500 because of Quentin Moore being in the top position. Now, another thing, too.
I don't understand what NRSL officials are doing.
Oh, I don't know. Especially how these guys are kind of a little bunched right now. You got to keep an eye on this because this is common at Daytona.
I'm just a little confused because, you know, in the shootout, we had that caution right in that beginning of the trial, but this happened off turn 4, and we didn't get a caution before the line. That, you know.
And remember, too, Fitzwater is the one that got turned right there.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what NRSL officials are doing. I don't know. They need to make a little more consistent call
James
on that.
Qualls, this is key right there, and he's going to go to a backup car. So Cat Batson, James Qualls, they're going to be in the rear of the field. And I think Dylan Bote is probably going to be in the same boat as well there, the Season 5 champion.
Speechless.
I don't know what to say on that right there. I am just in utter shock. Quentin Moore currently your leader, but Anthony McCurry, because of Quentin Moore technically in the front row, it would go to the next person, and it would be the Bud Shootout winner of Anthony McCurry. Wow, I can't believe it. If you think back, Ron Bishop, he had the fastest car in the testing session, and he ended up getting the pole 500-day qualifying spot. So he's going to start in the front row. RJ Bishop, he won the first duel, and here he's going to start P3. Here we got Anthony McCurry, your Bud Shootout winner, and now your winner for duel number 2. I am just in utter shock and speechlessness. So let's take a look at what happened to Dylan Pote and James Qualls. Let's look at with Fitzwater and see what happened. And it's going to be Charles Sanford right there in the 0-3. You can see they're just about to go 4 wide. You were seeing right there with the X-Side Chevrolet and the Reese's Whip Chevrolet right there. And yep, just got him right there. Another corner panel issue right there. Now see, look, they just about had it saved, but then right there, Fitzwater also gets a little contact from the 70 of James Qualls. Now you see Dylan Pote, this is just like duel number 1 with Johnny Gardner. He is like way low. He's already going to be past the pit row commitment right here. But his pit stall is way up towards the front. So look, as you can see, his speed is obviously decreasing because of the whole pit road situation. But watch his car. I don't know what Pote was thinking, but he just comes up the course right into James Qualls. I don't know if that was a little payback or something. I don't know. I'm kind of confused with that call. Wow, James Qualls. How that car ricocheted off the wall right there.
Well, now I know the reason why our caution didn't come out. He had the 59 spinning on the apron, and that didn't bring out the caution. We saw that in the showdown.
Yeah.
2 cars go down there below the double yellow line. They're gonna let it race. Because they're so off the race line. But when Pote came back up and hit Qualls, caution. But funny enough, the green flag's still out.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Caution lights are on. Caution lights are on. Never mind.
Yeah, the caution lights are
The
on.
pit road should be closed.
Yeah, the pit road should be closed at this point. There you see Pote coming into a stall, but man, James Qualls, he just ricocheted hard off that wall right there in the front straight.
Yeah, but that's what brought out your caution right there.
Yeah. Take another look with James
Go
Qualls
past
right
the line.
here. Take a look at James Qualls right here.
Right here.
Let's see how hard he probably hit that. Look, he's going 180. He just didn't even see Pote coming right there. Hit about 130 right there. Wow, that front end just completely went off the ground right there. Holy cow, that was a lick. Let's go on board with James Qualls, who got to see this entire mess. Unfortunately, he'll be in the rear of the field for this event. On board the 4Travel Motor Coach Chevrolet of James Qualls. Here you see the 4 wide. There's Fitzwater. You guys see Qualls literally got back up in the course, but no problem. And then there's Pote. Oh, wow. That is a lick right there.
Damn, wow.
Just wasn't ready for him. I don't even think Qualls was ready for that 31.
And it all happened so quick, too. I mean, when
Yeah.
you think about the grand scheme of it.
It did. And Pote is going to continue out on there, so he is not going to go to a backup car. But we are on the white flag lap, and you see Quentin Moore out in front now, because remember, as mentioned before, he is going to be P2 in the 500. It doesn't matter. His goal was to survive this race as best as possible. Well, he ends up finishing the race currently in the P1 spot, but it really isn't going to matter there, so unbelievable.
What a speed weeks for Anthony McCurry so far. Holy moly.
Both Anthony McCurry and Ron Bishop, I think it's safe to say they were the winners of Speed Weeks. It is safe to say. It's coming down the front straight off the final turn. Quentin Moore, technically, will pick up the victory and start in P number 4 for the 7th annual NRSL Universal Orlando Cup Series Daytona 500 is going to be Anthony McCurry in the paddle and Chevrolet for Kyotech Racing. Congratulations right there to Anthony McCurry. So your front row and your second row is going to include Ron Bishop, Quentin Moore, RJ Bishop, and Anthony McCurry. That is just going to be quite a lineup right there. Here's the rest of your results, as you can see. So you can see from others where they're going to start. Of course, this one's going to be the easiest, so you can tell. So from where you're at will be the row on the outside line because of the duel number 2. They include Quentin Moore, Anthony McCurry, Charles Sanford, Kev Shearer, Connor Meyer, Kyle Keith, Joshua Osborne, Keith Batson, Zach Rogers, Benjamin Miles, Jessica Sheldon, John Art, Eric Burton, Andres Bernauskas, Jeffrey Finguy, Trent Dunham, Zach Flickinger, Levi McIntyre, Zachary Fitzwater, who was last car to finish on the lead lap, Dylan Potey, who ended up 2 laps down. I don't think it really would have mattered if he probably would have had a backup car or not, but he'll be 20th regardless on the outside line. And then starting 42nd this race will be James Qualls. So that'll do it for Speed Weeks with the duels that'll take play. Your lineup is going to be set regardless. So you'll probably see an extra video what the Daytona 500 lineup is going to be on a day. I think it'll probably be Sunday. They'll just randomly be. Maybe a live stream, maybe a random video. I'm not too sure. I'll figure it out as the time when it goes. Or you'll probably see an update for those who follow me on the Discord channel. That will go from there. Again, I want to thank Warren for joining me in the booth. That was a lot of fun. What an unbelievable Speed Weeks it's been.
Ta-da!
So, of course,
Yeah.
Warren is going to be with us for the Xfinity race at Daytona. And, of course, the 7th annual Cup Series Daytona 500. So, until then, we'll see you guys for the Xfinity race. That'll be next week. Until then, goodbye, everybody, from the duels. And Warren, you could say some jitterish, random crap.
Bye!
Bye, Felicia.